Auburn is one of the winningest programs in college football history, but in 2010, they pulled off one of the most improbable national titles we've ever seen. To understand the significance of this team, it's important to establish Auburn's history first. After winning the national title in 1957, Auburn spent decades chasing the shadow of their arch rivals Alabama, who added 8 more titles to their trophy case, while Auburn narrowly missed out on multiple occasions. Take 1983, when Bo Jackson's Auburn team entered bowl season with the number 3 ranking, won the Sugar Bowl, and watched both teams ranked ahead of them lose their bowl games. And yet, they didn't move a single spot in the final polls, as Miami jumped from the number 5 ranking to claim the national title. Or 2004, when they finished the regular season as undefeated SEC champions, but were passed over for a spot in the BCS title game by 2 other undefeated teams in USC and Oklahoma. By 2008, the program had bottomed out with a 5-7 record, and head coach Tommy Tuberville resigned after the season. Gene Chizik was brought in to start the rebuild, and Auburn put up a respectable 8-5 record in 2009. But once again, they were forced to watch Alabama scale the mountaintop, with Nick Saban winning his first national title in crimson. Expectations were modest heading into 2010. Recruiting had slipped, with Auburn's 2008 and 2009 classes ranking 19th and 22nd nationally, and the Tigers had just lost their leading rusher Ben Tate to the NFL. For Auburn to return to national relevance, Chizik and his staff needed a miracle, and they found one. Enter Cam Newton, the most coveted quarterback in the country. A former 5-star recruit who started his college career at Florida, Newton had just led Blinn Junior College to the national championship. His recruitment was hotly contested, with Oklahoma and Mississippi State also in the hunt, but Auburn won the sweepstakes. Auburn also landed 5-star running back Michael Dyer, the top recruit in the state of Arkansas, cementing a class that ranked 7th in the country. Suddenly, the Tigers had the injection of talent they desperately needed, and the results bore fruit immediately. Newton lived up to the hype and then some, earning the nickname Superman and transforming Auburn's offense into one of the most explosive in the country. Before dual-threat quarterbacks became the norm, Newton was a prototype of where the game was heading, combining a dynamic running ability with elite downfield accuracy. He rushed for nearly 1,500 yards and posted the most efficient passer rating in SEC history at the time. He finished the season with 30 passing touchdowns and 20 rushing, one of 4 players ever to hit those marks. And Newton wasn't just a one-man show. Michael Dyer rushed for over 1,000 yards on 6 yards per carry, breaking Bo Jackson's freshman school record. Together, they powered the highest-scoring offense in Auburn history, leading the SEC in points and total yards. The defense wasn't elite, but it was opportunistic enough, and it had one cheat code: Nick Fairley. Fairley racked up 24 tackles for loss and 11.5 sacks, anchoring a top 15 run defense and wrecking game plans from the interior line. Without a dominant two-way balance, Auburn had to survive multiple close calls to keep their title dreams alive. Early in the season, they narrowly escaped Mississippi State, then clawed back from a 17-0 deficit against Clemson to win in overtime. It wasn't until Week 4 against number 12 South Carolina that the Auburn offense displayed its full potential, with Cam Newton delivering 5 touchdowns in a breakout 35-27 win. Mid-season, Auburn found its stride, knocking off number 12 Arkansas and number 6 LSU in back-to-back weeks, rolling into the regular season finale with an undefeated record. But waiting for them was the final boss, Alabama, the reigning national champions and the dynasty Auburn had chased for half a century. The stakes were simple: win or watch their championship run die at the hands of their hated rivals. And the start of the game was a nightmare. Alabama stormed out to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter and stretched it to 24-0 midway through the second quarter. But as they'd done all year, Auburn started to punch back. Newton threw a touchdown pass before halftime, then opened the second half with a 70-yard strike to cut the deficit to 10. Entering the fourth quarter with the lead down to 6, Newton found tight end Phil Lutzenkirchen for the go-ahead touchdown. The defense held on from there, shutting down Alabama to preserve a miraculous one-point win. It was the largest comeback in Auburn football history and the largest blown lead in Alabama history. An Iron Bowl victory that will live on forever. After the comeback, Auburn rolled South Carolina in the SEC championship game rematch to win the conference and punch their ticket to the national championship game against number 2 Oregon. The following week, Cam Newton's season was etched into college football lore, winning the Heisman Trophy, Auburn's first winner since Bo Jackson. All that was left was one game to complete the dream season. The national championship was a tight game from start to finish, but Auburn's unstoppable rushing attack proved decisive. With the score tied at 19 with just over 2 minutes to play, Auburn drove 73 yards to the Oregon 1-yard line and kicked a game-winning field goal as time expired, ending 53 years of frustration. Auburn finished the game with 274 rushing yards, and Michael Dyer earned MVP honors after delivering the game's defining moment, a 37-yard run on the final drive when he miraculously rolled over the top of the defender's back to avoid hitting the ground. 2 years after collapsing to 5-7, Auburn was back on top of the college football world. Cam Newton was the number 1 overall pick in the 2011 draft and became a Carolina Panthers legend, winning the NFL MVP in 2015. Nick Fairley was also drafted in the first round and played 6 seasons in the NFL before a heart condition cut his promising career short. In total, just 7 players from this team were drafted, far fewer than most national champions produce. And that's what makes this 2010 Auburn team so unique. They weren't as talented on paper as the 1983 or 2004 teams. And yet, at one of the lowest points in the program's history, with a new quarterback having just a single season to gel with the roster, they pulled off the impossible. The 2010 Auburn Tigers weren't the most dominant champions, but they've earned their place as one of the most legendary.